What's the most powerful tool ever invented? What can be a mechanism for change, a weapon, a mystery, a comfort? Storytelling. And storytelling is the key to sustainability. The reason we're in an unsustainable universe right now is that the universe of our narratives have fostered unsustainability. And the way to move forward, the way to move towards sustainability is to have sustainable narratives. Narratives that promote the kind of positive change that we're all seeking, and narratives told by people who are authentically committed to sustainable life and sustainable change. When we created Mediau, we had exactly this in mind. And we had sustainability in mind in two directions. At the macro level, we care about the sustainability of our lives and our planet. And we know that new narratives that promote sustainability need to be told. But who do they need to be told by? They need to be told by people who are not the people who have been telling narratives so far. They need to be told by people for whom storytelling can be democratized, and the tools of storytelling, the tools of media making can be democratized in the most broad way. So we created Mediau to promote access and accessibility, to give accelerated training and mentoring for people around the world in the tools of media making, so stories can be told. Mediau is also sustainable in a second way, in a very personal way, because we believe that creative people deserve to be able to live their lives, pay the rent, support their families, put food on the table with the efforts of their profound creativity. And so on a personal level, sustainability means that you can have a sustainable career. That's what Mediau is also doing with college credits, with accessibility, with connections to employers for the gig economy and for the employment economy. One film I recently made that shows a narrative of sustainability is the documentary A Plastic Ocean. It came out a few years ago. When I agreed to produce A Plastic Ocean, I did it because I really care about the issue. As the former president of National Geographic Films, I was deeply sensitized to the oceans, ocean life, and how the oceans affect everybody on the planet, on land and in the water. But I wasn't really expecting a lot of people would see A Plastic Ocean, because if you have a choice between, Top Gun Maverick and a documentary about plastics in the ocean, I sort of figured that most people would go see Top Gun Maverick. We were surprised and delighted to discover that A Plastic Ocean opened. It was the #1 documentary in the US and Canada and the UK, and then had a magnificent run on Netflix. It was placed in every single United States embassy. It is screened around the world. We were invited to the United Nations. We've changed more than 150 laws around the world, both national laws in India and Australia, national plastic laws. If you live in a state or province in the United States or Canada where there's been a plastic bag ban or limitation, a plastic straw ban or limitation, it is because the legislators saw this film. The film has affected the lives of more than 1 billion people. It also changed the plastic processes at Dow Chemical and changed the recycling processes at most of the shipping lines around the world. So it's had massive impact because it was a narrative of change told by committed filmmakers. It is my pleasure now to introduce you to the trailer for A Plastic Ocean, which will be followed by a panel discussion.
I remember the first time I saw a blue whale.
Oh, look. Wow.
I followed them since childhood.
What do you think it's from? Is it from a ship?
I could see plastic everywhere. We were in what we thought was a relatively pristine environment. I started to wonder what was happening in oceans elsewhere on the planet. Growing up, my world was the ocean. It's where I feel the most spiritual.
As a freediver, it was the place where I proved myself to myself. Finally, have the opportunity to pay the sea back.
Only a fraction of the plastic that we produce is recycled.
This is never going to degrade. It's got nowhere to go.
This was something that these animals, they were forced to endure because it was man-made and we'd put it into their environment.
The record is 276 pieces of plastic inside of one 90-day-old chick.
If the plastics are in the food chain for the dolphin, they're also in our food chain.
Exactly.
Communities are built on these landfill sites.
So sweet potatoes, corn, sugar cane, all growing
on 40 years of garbage.
Do you have anything not wrapped in plastic?
No.
We have to make our life better for our kids' children.
Change is possible. It starts with us.